Hello, YouTube. This is Elder Esquire, and today we're speaking about the Fisherman of Men Church in Washington, D.C. The Fisherman Men Church of Washington, D.C. is facing an involuntary historical designation to its outside building plan. The Fisherman of Men of Church didn't receive prior notice of this historical designation and is fighting it. And it is led by its pastor, Bishop Clarence Groover. The Fisherman of Men Church is located in Washington, D.C. Here's a picture of Bishop Clarence Groover of the Fisherman of Men Church in Washington, D.C. And here also is a picture of the Fisherman of Men Church in Washington, D.C. It's currently located at 3641 Georgia Avenue, Northwest, in Washington, D.C. The zip code is 20010. The reasons why Bishop Groover and the Fisherman of Men Church is fighting the historical designation by the Advisory Neighborhood Council 1A is that it will give the government the ability to determine which improvements to the outside are necessary, which also could include unnecessary improvements which would increase the cost of maintaining that structure within the city of Washington, D.C. Secondly, it will not allow the church to modernize to keep up with the increased modern development that is currently going on in Washington, D.C. through all the increased capital and increased residents that formerly lived in suburban areas and other parts away from the city of Washington, D.C. Thirdly, it will hinder the ability of the church to sell the property because the buyers would be limited to maintain the property as a historical building. Fourthly, it is a form, I believe, of gentrification where older residents are disfavored in favor of newer residents, white Europeans versus black Africans. In addition, the building is calling for, and this church is calling for, all faith-based groups and organizations to join with Bishop Clarence Groover and the Fisherman of Men Church family and the organization that Bishop Groover is affiliated with to fight this involuntary historical designation, because Fisherman of Men has been targeted now. There are other churches in the Washington, D.C. area that have been targeted, and if we don't stand together, we will fall individually. So let's all stand together against this involuntary historical designation by the Advisory Neighborhood Council in Washington, D.C., 1A. There is a hearing scheduled for November 29th, 2012 at 9 a.m. It's located at 441 4th Street, Northwest, Washington, D.C., room 220. and to contact Bishop Groover, Pastor Bishop Clarence Groover. He can be reached at www.fishermanofmen, one word, .org at 3641 Georgia Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20010. Telephone number 202-723-2216. We're asking all people, especially people of faith and Black-owned businesses in Washington, D.C., to stand with the Fishermen of Men regarding this involuntary historic designation petition. Thank you, and have a good day.